chào toàn thể quý khán giả. Mời quý vị đến với chương trình Thanh Thảo Show tuần này. Trong chương trình hôm nay, Thanh Thảo hân hạnh được tiếp xúc một lần nữa với một người rất quen thuộc với quý vị trong vài năm qua. Đó là composer Viet Cuong. Hiện nay Viet Cuong là resident composer của Pacific Symphony Orchestra. Orchestra này tức là cái dàn nhạc giao hưởng này thường trình diễn tại Rene and Henry Segerstrom's Concert Hall ngay tại Costa Mesa. Mời quý vị cùng xem chương trình ngày hôm nay để biết thêm về những tác phẩm mới của Viet Cuong. Hello, Viet Cuong.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, it's always great to be here.
Okay. We met in the past. I introduced you to my viewers in the past.
Yes.
This time we have another piece, a new piece. I think it is the sixth one that Pacific Symphony Orchestra will perform. Please talk a little about it. It's called Marine Layer, I think.
Yes. So I'm excited for this piece because it's a piece I wrote specifically for the Pacific Symphony. It's a world premiere this weekend, and it's called Marine Layer. It's inspired by the fog that kind of moves into Laguna and Southern California in the morning every day. And kind of inspired also by just the natural surroundings here, which are so beautiful in Southern California.
What inspired you to write this piece?
Many things, actually. So because it's Carl St. Clair, the conductor, it's his last season with Pacific Symphony, I wanted to write a piece to honor his time with the orchestra. 35 years is a long time to be with an orchestra.
Yes.
And kind of thinking about how many things can change over time, but something like the Marine Layer has been a consistent phenomenon in the area for as long as we all can remember. So kind of to honor things that remain over many years, just like his tenure with the orchestra.
But usually when, if I'm wrong, please tell me.
Yeah.
So usually when a composer write a piece of music, there's something that trigger the inspiration, right? So I know you live in Laguna, surrounding area. Was it because of a morning fog or an evening fog or a time that you walk on the beach?
The morning. Yeah, I find I used to not be a morning person. I used to be more like evening, but just the as I've gotten older, I guess I enjoy mornings more, and I wake up earlier and like to get a start on my day. So yeah, the morning has been an inspiring time for me in recent years.
I know that you work very hard. You have very busy schedule. Are you still teaching at the University of Las Vegas?
Yes, I am. Yes. So a lot of things going on, and been traveling a lot, and this has kind of been the busiest time of my life and career, but it's really amazing.
The viewers don't know about resident composer. Please explain what do you do as a resident composer at Pacific Symphony?
Yes, so many orchestras have composers as residents, and it can kind of be whatever we want it to be, but at the heart of every composer residency is just a deeper relationship with an orchestra than a typical relationship. So usually when a composer works with an orchestra, we just show up for maybe the week. We have some rehearsals, the piece is played, and then we leave, and then maybe we'll work with the orchestra again in 3 years or something. But residency with an orchestra is just a more consistent relationship. So it's been great the last 3 years to be able to work with the orchestra every season and get to work on different pieces for them, as well as with the youth ensembles.
Now that I talk to you, I really have to go to attend the concert.
Yes,
just to hear it in person. So what's the difference between the pieces that you had composed and performed at Pacific Symphony? I remember the last one was Heroes, right?
Yes, Heroes.
And this one is Marine Layers. You said before we started the show that this piece is a little bit more mellow, right?
Yes. So there are a number of differences between the pieces that I've had performed with the orchestra in the years past versus this one. The first piece I had performed by them was a percussion quartet concerto, and then the second one was a piece for 6 soloists. So it was a concerto for sextet. And this piece is different because it's just an orchestra piece. There's no soloist, so it's not a concerto. And the other pieces were very sort of energetic and exciting. And I think there are some exciting moments in this piece this week, but it's a bit more mellow, trying to capture the feeling and image of fog and the kind of how it slowly moves over the mountains and over the ocean. And it has some very intense, passionate moments, though. But it contrasts, I think, very well with the other music on this program.
How do you feel when people embrace you? Being a young composer, a Vietnamese-American composer. I heard a lot of people, at the very first concert, it was a little skeptical. But after they listened to you, they said, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. It always feels really great. I remember when I was younger, I just dreamed of being a composer who had their music played and embraced, and it feels really amazing when you kind of get to live out your dreams that you had as a young person. And I think it's a huge gift, and I feel grateful every day that I get to be a composer for a living.
So could you, even though I met you and interviewed you before, could you remind the viewers how you, the occasion that you and Carl met, and how you got involved with Pacific Symphony?
Yeah, I met Carl in, I think it was 2020, in the middle of COVID. I was living in Aliso Viejo here in Orange County, and I saw that Carl had programmed my percussion quartet concerto with the Thornton Winds over at University of Southern California. And it had been a while since I had heard my music played because COVID canceled everything.
Of course.
I just reached out to USC and I asked, like, would I be allowed to come to this concert? Because they had a closed campus policy at the time, and we all had masks and were wanting to avoid spreading COVID, so I just wanted to make sure I was even allowed on campus. And they said, yeah, we can let you come, but we'll have to get special permission and you'll have to do the COVID test and all this stuff. So I did all of that and then just drove to LA to go to the concert. And I think Carl was just really excited that I came. And I got to meet him that day and talk to the students at USC a little bit and hear them perform the piece. I was the only one in the audience.
Really?
It was a live streamed concert.
I see, yeah.
But I think Carl was really touched that I came, and then so we had just lunch shortly after that, and he had this idea to have me work with the symphony more closely, and it all started from there. So, yeah, it's funny. COVID, a lot of things got canceled because of COVID, but COVID also, for me, was the start of many relationships with people.
I joined the Pacific Symphony Orchestra as a board member during COVID too.
Oh, wow.
In 2021. Yeah. And I remember we had everything outdoors.
Yes, yes.
And we even had to wear masks. And then I remember Carl was very excited talking about Viet Cuong, Vietnamese American composer that he will be working with. And so it's been some good year.
Yes, it's been great to see the orchestra bounce back from COVID.
Yes, and you just mentioned you had to drive all the way to Los Angeles to attend a concert. How do you feel that people in Orange County now don't have to go anywhere? They can just go to Costa Mesa, Renee and Henry Segerstrom.
Yes.
Concert hall.
I think it's really wonderful because there's so many people in Orange County and so many people who love classical music in Orange County.
Yes.
So to have a really world-class orchestra in their home is great because we all know that LA traffic is not something we enjoy driving through. So to have an orchestra, here in our neighborhood is really amazing.
Beside your piece called Marine Layer, at the concerts from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, this week. So it's going to be 6th, 7th and 8th of February.
Yes.
Beside your piece, there would be a grand piece. It's called Pines of Rome. Could you talk a little bit about it?
Yes, so there's also, closing the concert is a piece by a composer named Respighi, who wrote this amazing, very grand and exciting piece called Pines of Rome. And it's kind of about the different surroundings in Rome. And it's one of my favorite orchestra pieces, actually. And it contrasts very well with the piece I wrote. And I think it's the perfect way to end the program. And it's a piece, Pines of Rome is a piece that is best experienced live, because you really feel the excitement and grandeur. And I heard the rehearsal last night of them rehearsing Pines of Rome, and so they sound beautiful.
Do you ever plan to write a big piece like that?
I think someday, yeah, it'd be great to write a big symphony, but I need to feel ready for it.
I see.
So writing for orchestra is very challenging because there's so many performers, so many instruments, and so many things to keep track of. So it's something, when you write a really big symphony, something like half an hour long, you need to feel really prepared that you know what you're doing. And I think I'm getting there. I think I'm close. We'll see. But I think in the next 5 years, I'll write a piece of that scale for orchestra. I'd love to.
It's great to have inspiration, do you think?
Yes. Inspiration doesn't come often, so it's great when you have it.
I also know that you write pieces for singer too, for voice. I think Teresa Mai has been or will be performing one of your pieces this week or so.
I've been writing for voice a lot more.
I see.
I just wrote a piece actually for tenor and a smaller ensemble. And it's really great to be able to set words to music. It's very fun, as opposed to just writing just for instruments.
So maybe someday we can hear voices.
Yes. And I am writing a piece for the Pacific Chorale this season.
Oh wow! Great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, me too.
Even though my viewers already knew a bit about you, could you talk about a little bit? Just touch on the situation where you had to make a choice, or your parents actually had to make a choice of allowing you to be the artist that you are now.
Yeah.
Or becoming a medical professional.
Yeah.
Because many Vietnamese American families have children, and they put them in musical or music classes, but they don't really hope that the children would follow that career. I have no idea why, but can you tell the steps you had to take to prove your way?
You know, my mom put me in piano lessons when I was about 5.
Wow.
Because she read it would be good for me, just for my brain.
Yes, of course.
And I think it's true.
True, I know
Music
that.
is really great for
I did the same with the kids too.
Yeah, and I joke that I took it too seriously. I think she thought it would just be a hobby of mine, or that music would just be something I did for fun. But I just really loved it, and I had too much fun with it, and I got very serious with wanting to do it professionally one day. And I had many conversations with my parents about it, because I think ultimately parents just want what is best for their kids. And what is best is oftentimes what is stable, what is, something that they know if they work hard, they will find success. And the thing with music is, it's not always there's no guarantee, and it's not a straightforward path to becoming a professional musician. And so I think they were just scared that I would work really hard with it. And
without any success.
Without success. And so, if anything, I think that their fears made me work even harder. Because I wanted to do everything I could to show them that the risk would be worth it. And so, I remember my mom wanted me to, there was a whole list of things she thought I would be good at. Maybe being a pharmacist or an orthodontist or some sort of doctor. And And I think in some ways too, my mom wanted to do that herself, but she didn't have the resources when she first came to the U.S. to go to medical school.
Of course.
So, yeah, I think it's something that you have to weigh the risk versus reward, and just also if you want to pursue being a musician, just to know that it is a lot of work, and nothing as a musician just comes to you without that hard work.
So your parents, I know your dad passed away. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
So, but your parents had been your biggest fans, right?
Yes.
After your success.
Yeah. And you know, it's been really rewarding to know that, like, how hard they worked to support me and my brother, that we've both found our way in the world. And I joke too that because my brother didn't become a musician, that it balances out. He's an engineer, so
okay.
Yeah.
So at least there's someone stable.
Yeah, someone stable. Yeah.
I have nothing to say, but admiration for you.
Thank you.
And before we end the program, I just want to touch base on one thing that just happened this last month in Los Angeles, where there's fires that destroy so many homes, including artists' houses.
Yes.
And how do you feel about? Do you have any inspiration that one of these days you're gonna write a piece about? Because music heals. You have any thoughts about that or not?
Yeah, you know, it's so devastating what happened. I know people personally who lost their homes and lost everything. And it's been on my mind a lot the last month, just thinking of how much this devastation has impacted people and their families, and still people don't know what's next for them.
Right.
And it's been weighing on my heart a lot. And I don't know if I'll write a piece inspired by this or anything. I think it's
just like in this sense of bridge over troubled water. You know, like something like that. But of course in classical genre.
Yeah, I think just that just artists continuing to create music. Like you said, music heals. And
yes.
I think the reason music heals is that music brings people together and brings communities together. And I think especially artists in LA, we need to continue to support them through this time. And you know, I don't know if I'll write a piece directly about any of these fires or anything, but just by continuing
maybe
to write
some personal
music.
loss and some experience.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, but my heart goes out to everyone who's
same here,
who's been impacted by the fires.
We just had the Lunar New Year celebration. You have a few words to the viewers?
Yes, just Happy New Year, and I hope this year brings you all of the success and luck and prosperity that you deserve.
Thank you, Viet Cuong. And please, viewers, I'm going to speak in Vietnamese. Quý vị muốn xem chương trình và có cái phần trình diễn nhạc khúc của Viet Cuong, xin quý vị mua vé ngày thứ 5, thứ 6 và thứ 7, mùng 6, mùng 7, mùng 8 của tháng 2 năm 2025. Quý vị vào pacificsymphony.org để mà tìm mua vé, và chắc chắn là vé bán rất là nhanh. Quý vị có thể vào ngay bây giờ để xem chương trình một lần nữa là thứ 5, thứ 6 và thứ 7 tuần này. Nếu quý vị có gia đình hoặc người thân đến chơi vẫn còn chưa về trong dịp Tết, mời quý vị hãy đưa người thân đến xem để biết rằng một trong những nhà soạn nhạc người Mỹ gốc Việt, Viet Cuong, sáng tác nhạc hay như thế nào, và được xem phần trình diễn của Pacific Symphony Orchestra tại một cái thư viện sang trọng vô cùng, Rene and Henry Segerstrom Concert Hall. Hẹn gặp quý vị tại những chương trình đó, và xin cảm ơn quý vị đã xem chương trình Thanh Thảo Show tuần này. Kính chào tạm biệt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nếu quý vị thích xem những chương trình này, xin nhấn vào nút subscribe để có được các thông tin và phóng sự mới nhất từ Việt Face TV.